Welcome to this channel. My name is Amitori and I do cute little sketchbook videos and whatever that has to do with art. I'm an animation student and so I don't get to post very often, but today we have a special video in the sense that, well, it's not necessarily special because almost every video has a new thing to try, but regardless, Ohuhu kindly sent us their new plus markers so that I can give a review and show you guys what I think about it. And so I'm excited about this. They actually, I thought I was just getting this, but they actually sent me this and this, which is crazy. So I get to try all of their plus markers. I'm pretty sure this is all of them. And then also their new marker pad, which I have tried their original marker pad, which is this sketchbook in previous videos. And I have some updated thoughts about this, which is why I also have taken a little bit of a different route to this review, because I actually have already tried the markers. And I know I've done like first impression reviews in the past, which have been super fun and exciting, but sometimes my feelings on things change after a lot longer of like using the markers, and like it's off video, so I'm not like, you know, having to think about the video while I'm also trying to use the markers. And so I went ahead and tried them in the sketchbook, and so I can kind of give you more so like my long-term thoughts while also giving it another try today on camera so that you can see how it all works. But I'm definitely going to be comparing these two sketchbooks because the new one has thicker paper and oops, goodness. And so they're definitely a little different and I have some things to say. So without further ado, we will get into this. I already did this page, and if you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen this. Surprise! This was the new Ohuhu marker sketchbook, but I really like the thickness of this paper. Don't mind this for now. I mean, what artist doesn't like thicker paper? Let's be completely honest. Of course, obviously, absolutely no bleed through, which is very nice. Also, another new thing about this sketchbook, some of y'all were talking about in this old sketchbook how when some sketchbooks were spoilers going on here. So some of y'all were talking about when you use a lighter marker on this paper, it starts out like really dark, and a lot of you didn't like that, and I also honestly agree. I don't love it so much either. It's not something that I've experienced really with any of my other sketchbooks, and I assume that it's because I'm gonna make a guess. I think that the way that they make these pages no bleed through is, I think that it's like two pieces of paper like glued together in a way. I might be completely wrong. And so it kind of would make sense that there would be like a shadow in between. Again, I have no idea. I'm not a paper expert, so don't quote me on that. But as you can see, as it's drying, it kind of like becomes lighter. This marker is like really light. And so this is actually a tester for the new paper that was included in the sketchbook. So I went ahead and swatched them on this paper, the markers, because they have their own swatch cards, but I wanted to know what they look like on this paper and how they behave. If you look at, this is Y120. Do you see the difference? It is much nicer on the thicker paper. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things that I noticed. I also noticed that there is some pretty intense warping going on. If you can see on the old sketchbook, for some reason it has continually like been warping. Like, look at how warped that is. And it kind of came this way, but it was like not nearly this bad, so I didn't really notice it. But now when I draw on it, it like the page like starts to like do this situation, and it gets really annoying when I'm trying to keep everything like still. As much as I do really appreciate the no bleed through quality of the sketchbook. The problems that have arisen from just continuously using it have been interesting. So far there is a slight bit of like bend going on here. And so I do kind of experience a little bit of warping, and it's always gets worse when I'm like actively drawing on it. So like when I have my hand all over it, maybe it's like the heat from my hand or something, but it definitely gets like more warpy like while I'm using it. So we will see if that bothers me today, but it's definitely not nearly as bad as the other sketchbook. So yeah, so far I'm enjoying myself, but of course I've only done these 2 drawings with it, so we will see how we feel. I'm going to talk about the markers now, because that's kind of the point of this video, isn't it? Pretty woo. There you go. So first thing I noticed is the new case. Love it. It's very nice. I just like the way that it stands really easily. I like the shape of it, things like that. But it is kind of like a gimmick in the sense that you're buying the markers for the markers. So here we go. They have a lot more fancy stuff on the actual barrel. It feels a lot like nicer plastic. This one feels this is the other one. This one feels a lot like lighter weight and a little bit of like a cheaper type of plastic. So this is kind of what we're looking at. There's definitely a difference in the color of the 2, even though these are the same color name at least. Okay, so we have the first one swatched. Okay, so this one definitely feels smoother. This one feels more fabricy and has a little bit more grip to the paper. This one feels a lot more squishy and bendable, whereas this one just kind of squishes at the tip, and this one actually kind of bends like that. So I guess it just depends on which one do you prefer, but this one definitely feels nicer. I don't feel any upgrade to the actual ink itself, but I will say that the way that the ink is deposited onto the paper, like it feels a little bit more even and a little bit easier to control the amount of ink that is going onto the paper. I will put the price differences up on the screen here so that you can make that decision. But yeah, so let's get into things. I will come back when I have an idea. My little brain is not cooking today. I might actually draw Thomas, and then I might do some like updated designs of some of my characters, and that might be what the plan will be for this page. I feel like the more I draw him, the more comfortable I get with his proportions, and the more actually exaggerated I make his proportions, which is why I need to make sure that I stick with the like continuity that I have in my film, because my first drawing of Thomas is okay, but it's kind of scuffed, and because I've already animated that section of the film, I just have to make it look the same even though I know that it could be better. And so yeah, it's kind of hard to bite the bullet and do that, but I don't want the whole film to be like, oh, why is Thomas getting like cooler and cooler near the end, you know? But who knows, I'll just do art of him later and it'll suffice for what could have been for the film, because it needs to get done regardless, you know? But yeah, this is kind of my like homage to horror because I love horror so much. This is also a work that me and my sister made together because she's the writer for it. It has a special place in my heart because of that. But yeah, I have finally gotten his hair down because I don't really like drawing his hair, but Now I do because I actually know what to do with it. Men's hair is definitely a different situation for sure. I actually do need to draw him like looking forward for my film. I haven't done that yet. If anybody hasn't heard, I'm animating the whole thing in Live 2D Cubism, which is the program that people use for VTubing and VTube models. It's been a fun process. I will say the Live 2D Cubism customer service, they are very sweet and helpful. So it's kind of not like super made for short films. They're definitely catering the program to like VTubing because that is their primary audience. But I'm excited to make something with it that's a little different that people don't usually make with it. I think it's fun. I have him like putting his hands in his pockets, I think. Yeah, there's a little bit like of like that situation going on, which is not my favorite, but it's not like obnoxious right now, so I'm trying to avoid doing like too much of his face before I finish the rest of him, because I want to make sure that I'm not getting caught up on the details. I'm gonna add some extra details to him that I didn't in the film because I needed to draw him so many times. This is an illustration of Thomas, not an animation. When you're drawing a character, it's best to have the head to the crotch be the same length as the legs. That helps you kind of manage like the proportions and stuff. I've been using that for years to help me with it. Let me know how you guys feel about this angle that I have right now, because sometimes I feel like up here is like too far away from the paper and you can't really see what I'm doing, but I don't really know because I'm not you guys. So dude, shoes have been something that I have been struggling with for years, and I feel like I'm finally kind of getting it, but to be honest, not really. I went through a little bit of like an art identity crisis again. I've been through a handful of those, but this time it was about like what I'm drawing and feeling like I'm not improving, because I mean, I'm not doing anything to improve necessarily. I just keep drawing things that I already know how to draw, and I'm drawing them from memory. And as much as that's like okay, I definitely need to be actually practicing more. Like I need to be drawing things that make me uncomfortable, like things that I don't know how to draw, you know? I made a list in Procreate of like ideas that I have for big projects that I want to do. I mean, big projects not meaning short film, meaning it's like an illustration, like concept design project. That would probably take me like 2 weeks around about, I think, if I set my mind to it, because I have all this other stuff going on too. It'd probably take me a week if it was just the only thing I was doing, but I definitely want to get something like that done, and I want it to be something that will challenge me. He's giving bowl cut, so I definitely want to change that situation. Maybe I'll try to have like a new take on Amber. That would be fun because there's some pretty oranges in this set too. Hey guys, so at this point in the video, I think that I just kind of like stopped talking because I ended up in some sort of flow state and I got very focused, and I just threw out the concept of this being like a draw with me kind of situation. So I'm here to fill in the space by trying to yap for the rest of the time. So hello. But yeah, so this drawing, I'm just gonna be honest and say that it's not what I was wanting to come out of this recording session. I definitely am not super happy with the sketchbook page that I make in this video, and But again, I'm happy with it. I'm not saying that it's bad. I think that I've been kind of stumped with my art journey as of late, where I don't feel like I'm improving much, and I'm not super happy with my ideas that I'm coming up with. And I think that that's been mainly recently, where I felt very like creatively stumped. And I think part of it is because I'm not improving, I'm not learning, and I really need to like push myself to start drawing some things that make me feel uncomfortable. And I think that I've already mentioned that in either my sketchbook tour or earlier in this video. My memory is crazy. I've been editing so much recently to try to get these videos out, but yeah, so I definitely want to approach this next semester of school, which is my last semester of animation school, woo, with kind of just trying to learn as much as I can, have some new experiences. I have actually restarted the Final Fantasy VII remake because I never got past like the 4th chapter or something. I don't even remember where I was, but I wasn't very far. And so I really want to go back because I remember enjoying it. I do this thing with video games where I just get distracted with life and then I don't feel like playing video games anymore, so I just forget everything that happened, and then years go by and I have to restart it. And I think I've already restarted Final Fantasy VII like twice, but I'm hoping that this will be the last time and I can actually finish it, because I am a huge Final Fantasy fan and I haven't played 7 yet, and so yay. But I'm hoping that doing something like that kind of gets my mind out of the creative space, I think will help me like refresh a little bit. And I'm also wanting to do some studies. I want to make some illustration projects. Honestly, I'm also kind of just tired of drawing characters. I know that sounds crazy because that's like what I draw, but I'm getting a little bit bored, I think, and I feel like I really need to start branching out and drawing some like illustrations, like full on like environment with like concept dev and all that kind of stuff, so that I can kind of get like back into the swing of learning things and growing as an artist. Excuse me. And so yeah, we will see how it goes. I have a list of things that I want to draw. I think I've already said this. Why do I feel like I've already said? Because I probably have. But yeah, so I'm excited about it. I think that it will be a good experience. I feel like this has been a long time coming. But yeah, so here we go. I'm hoping that I'll have time this semester, because I will be finishing my capstone project. Everybody always talks about how like this is gonna be the craziest semester of animation school, is trying to round these things out. So yeah, but I'm also gonna be looking at my portfolio and making sure that my portfolio is up to snuff, I suppose. And I need to make sure that it looks more professional, it looks nicer, it looks more put together. Something that I need to work on with myself is actually the presentation of my artwork. And that's not something that I have had to deal with before animation school. And so I will be kind of looking at that a little bit. But I'm excited about it. I have a lot of hope and excitement for this next semester, and I'm honestly kind of sad that I'm almost done. It feels very unreal, and even though I know that I've been here for like forever at this point, it just, yeah, I feel this like melancholy, like, oh man, what's gonna happen? I really just don't know what's gonna happen. And so there's actually this new YouTuber that I've been watching recently that has helped me a lot with like my creative growing pains right now. And I will put him up on screen because I can't remember his username for the life of me, but watching him paint and just talk about his art experiences is so healing in a weird kind of way. It's just I relate to a lot of the stuff that he says about like when he was like starting in the industry and like the things that he struggled with artwork and everything. It's just been so nice to listen to it, because I just feel like, man, nobody talks about this, and this is something that I've been struggling with. And so but yeah, like growing pains in the art journey are normal, and they are honestly a good sign that you're going somewhere, you know? I feel like for me, I get the most creatively dumbed down, the most bored, and the most art blocked when I feel like I've just been content and fine with my artwork for too long, you know? Because usually me being bored and me feeling this way means that I am about to learn something new, and like I need to shift to getting like to the next level, I suppose. There's not an end to the levels, but that's kind of what I like about art, is that you can kind of just keep growing, and it's always something new, and you're never gonna like you're never gonna be the very best. Cue the Pokemon soundtrack. But that's kind of what I like about it. You don't get to that point where you're like, what now? You know, you're always growing, and so I'm excited. I'm trying to redirect my anxiety for the future of not knowing what's going on to being excited for the unknown, you know? I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know where I'm gonna be, but I think that that's part of the joys of life, I suppose, and we will deal with problems along the way. But anyway, back to the video. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. This is the final sketch page. It is definitely something. It's not the best thing well, okay. I need to stop being so negative. I didn't plan it, and it's pretty clear that I didn't plan it. You know what? I still like it. I had fun, and I like each sketch individually. I just don't know if they belong together on the page, but it exists now, so yay. As far as the sketchbook goes, I really didn't have too much trouble with buckling or warping. This top right corner still just kind of tends to do that situation. And there was, while I was working on Thomas and his pants, specifically when I was putting like so much color, trying to mix the colors to get the color I wanted, his pants did start to buckle, and it created a little bubble right here where like when I pressed down on the paper it like bubbled up, but then that went away. So it definitely looks like it has something to do with like the paper like contracting and expanding with the amount of ink that I put on it, and maybe some of the humidity from my hands, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, overall I had a super fun time trying these out, and I hope to see you guys in the future when I can also come up with more ideas. I'm kind of out of ideas right now for things, so let me know if you guys have any requests for any specific types of videos, and how you felt about this one, and which sketch was your favorite, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, bye.